Hello again. Those of us old enough to remember England as it was 60 years ago feel a terrible rage when we observe how the country we love has been pulled to pieces by our supposed leaders, both political and intellectual. The country's academics and intelligentsia provided the wicked ideology which was used as justification by politicians and civil servants for the measures taken to dismantle the country and then remodel it closer to the vision of socialists, foreigners and internationalists. Whatever the original vision might have been, the end product is a nightmare. I am perfectly prepared to believe that much of the harm inflicted on my country might have been planned and then put into practice with high-minded intentions, but that hardly makes me feel any better. It is altogether possible, indeed I think probable, that those urging Britain to accept refugees and asylum seekers from Africa and Asia were motivated by compassion and thought back to the refugees such as the French Huguenots and more recently persecuted Jews from Europe. In the same way, the architects of mass immigration may very well have believed that they were powering up our economy, encouraging investment and cutting deals which would improve our status in the world. I can understand these sentiments. But what I cannot forgive is the fact that long after it became clear that these policies were ruinous for our country, those same intellectuals and politicians persisted with them, denouncing those who saw the irretrievable harm being done to the nation as racist bigots and Little Englanders. They did this even when they themselves could see the country fragmenting and terrible things happening to the native population. There is a name for this kind of lunacy, and it is known in business as the sunk cost fallacy. If you embark on a project in which you sink a great deal of effort in money and manpower, then even when it becomes obvious that the thing is a dud and should be abandoned and a new course charted, there is a reluctance to do so because so much has been invested. It would be a pity to write off all that time and money. So it is that a mad enterprise which has cost a great deal in manpower or even caused suffering will not simply be ditched. Those who put their hearts and souls into it persist against all reason in backing the idea and pushing it forward. That is, in essence, what has happened with the multicultural project. The idea was that it would produce a wonderful nation where people of all ethnicities, races and nationalities would fulfill their potential and take their place alongside the original inhabitants of the British Isles, and together they would build the New Jerusalem. Of course, although that may have been the dream, the reality has turned out very differently. England is, to put the case in a vulgar fashion, completely gone to shit. It is the Labour Party and the Conservatives who have both been responsible for this, for both parties subscribe to the same mad, and to them at least, utopian ideal. It is time now for them to step aside. We must forget what has been already invested, forget the sunk cost, and see what we can do to reverse the damage to what has been done over the last quarter century or so. The hour is late, but not perhaps too late to remedy matters.